hero hit points and hero swapping. They're the rules that we're going to cover today. So every hero in Archaic Realms have their own hit point total. It's not just a countdown to when they are destroyed, but it is its own progression tracker. So the lower the hit points, the stronger the heroes become. There's thresholds, so you will unlock more abilities as you tick down the amount of hit points that you have. There's 2 thresholds that you'll tick down into. Because both you and your opponent have 3 heroes each, there's a hero swap mechanic as well. So you bring in a new hero and it changes the dynamic of the game. It makes every decision in combat a strategy. So let's dive in. Malakai the Deathbringer. He's got 6 hit points, right? So there's 2 thresholds here. Every hero is going to have 2 thresholds, but it's going to be a different hit point that triggers that threshold. So 2 thresholds at 4 HP and at 1 HP, right? So his glass cannon, if he gets to 1 HP, he becomes a real problem. So the moment your opponent pushes him past 4, 2 things happen, okay? They get a realm control point. So they want to chip him down and get him to the next threshold to get a realm control point. And the second, his next ability unlocks, right? Now, if say it's mid-game, you push him to 1 HP, the opponent gets 2 realm control points, and then his third ability comes online. He's the most dangerous. So this is the kind of tension of the mechanic, is at the lowest hit point threshold, he's the strongest, but destroying him is not going to give the opponent a realm control point anymore. He becomes a real threat, and the full kind of theme and mechanic comes online. So your opponent has to make a choice, either destroy him, right, for no realm control points, or allow him to just be fully utilized. That's the tension, and that's the tension we're trying to build. We'll go to another one here, Faith and Order, right? So this is a divine faction hero. Every hero follows the same system, okay? So the archetype just changes the timing of things. So Faith and Order has 10 HP, right? So the threshold sits at 6 and 2. So at the moment it crosses to tier 2, all spells cost less, and exalted allies become untargetable by opponent spells. That last threshold tick is a huge problem for the opponent. So all of a sudden this hero ticks down to the 3rd threshold, the whole board state changes. What we're trying to introduce and what we're wanting to have here is that you want to get realm control points from lowering these HP thresholds, but you also need to be aware of the powers that those next abilities are going to unlock. So the HP threshold system is, the whole point is to create this tension. So a fully unlocked hero at low HP is simultaneously the most powerful card in the realm, but it's also the most unrewarding target, right? So you don't get a realm control point for removing it. It becomes a strategic decision to either destroy it or allow it to stay there. So now it gets interesting because we have the hero swap mechanic as well, right? So this becomes strategy, but it also becomes risking more realm control points that your opponent might be able to take. So each player runs 3 heroes. One's active in the realm, all right? So then 2 are waiting on the side in the hero lineup. So we've got Malakai, right? He's on low, his low HP is on 1. He's really strong, but for the purpose of the kind of strategy, maybe you're not winning, okay? And he is full power, but your board state's just not set up right. We have these other 2 heroes now that are full health and a completely different archetype theme to their abilities. They now can change the dynamic of the game entirely. So you can make a decision at the start of your main phase. You can swap in a fresh hero, right? But only if a trigger was fired on the last turn. So the 2 triggers are, you found a way to get a realm control point since your last turn, whether it be a quest, faction objective or something else, or you're getting beaten down so hard that your active hero caused your opponent to gain a realm control point. You now can make a decision to swap to a new hero and completely change the state of the gameplay. So those 2 triggers are strategic triggers that you can choose to swap. There's also the forced trigger. Your hero gets destroyed. You don't have a choice. You must choose another hero to come in, and that will be at flash speed. It will break any priority order of spells. It will remove any targeting. So if you've got a bunch targeting Malakai, a bunch of spells targeting Malakai, and he is destroyed, all of that priority order gets removed and a new hero comes in. You move to the next phase after that. The reason for that is we want the heroes to come in fresh. We don't want just a constant bombardment of damage coming through that cannot be broken by the hero swap. So the 3rd trigger, when a new hero comes in, you want to avoid that happening. It puts you in a state of forced decision making rather than a strategic one. Right, so that's the tension of the hit point system, right? So do you let the hero stay in and become a target and be destroyed, or do you swap them out knowing that you have a fully powered hero that you can build a combo around and bring them back in. So there's no correct answer to that. It changes every game. So that's the exciting part of the tension that we're building into the HP threshold system. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on the archaicrealms.com website for updates and the journey to the game fan launch in September. We'll go through some more mechanics next week.